Okay, Andy, do you think you can go ahead with the roll call, please?
Sure. Let's start. Nancy Moldenauer.
Here.
Andy Jans Davis. Here. Tim Bauer.
Here.
Philip. Not.
He's excused.
Okay, excused. Okay. Faye Moore.
Here.
Okay. Laura Henderson is on. We'll get her, of course. All right. And then Tristan Bogert.
Here.
All right. Bailey Chavis.
Here.
Angela Reynolds.
Here.
And then we have a new, Daisy Lee. Sorry, Daisy.
Here.
And then one more new person. I'm going in order of the pictures on my screen, so I'm sorry. I haven't missed anybody. Okay, Mary Kate Neary.
Here.
All right, and then
Clarence Hulse is absent.
Okay, and then
Our liaison, Bryant Dabney, is not here, but he doesn't count as part of our
okay, he doesn't. All right, there we go. That's everybody, I think. Then we have a quorum. All right, and then there's Laura's back. I took roll call, Laura.
Okay, thank you very much for doing that, Andy, and jumping in at the last minute. I really do appreciate it. Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of the December 9th, 2021 minutes. Who'll make a motion to accept those, please?
Motion.
Okay, and I think we're going to have to get a little bit back to Robert's Rules of Orders based on a memo I got today. So Tim, if you could say in a complete sentence, I approve the minutes from the last month or something like that, okay?
I motion to approve the minutes from last month.
Thank you. And who'll second that?
I second.
Daisy, thank you. All approved. If you'll raise your hand and indicate in the corner of your screen there that you approve. Okay, the minutes pass. Faye, did you vote for us? Faye?
Yes.
Her screen was frozen, I think.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, your screen froze there for a minute. Okay, minutes passed unanimously. Thank you very much, very much. And I want to welcome Mary Kate Neary, and she is our newest student commissioner coming to us from Marquette High School. Yes, Mary, we welcome you and thank you for having an interest in our commission. And if you wouldn't mind giving us a brief introduction as far as who appointed you and why you're interested in taking part in the Michigan City Sustainability Commission.
Sure. So, hi, everyone. As Mrs. Moldenauer said, my name is Mary Kate Neary, and I'm currently a junior at Marquette Catholic High School. And I want to thank you all for this opportunity to serve on this commission. I plan to study sustainability in college, so I feel like this is a really great opportunity for me to kind of explore what we do in our own community. And I was appointed by my principal, Casey Martin. So thank you all.
Great. Thank you so much. And Mary, I need to write a formal letter on letterhead and send that to the city clerk's office. And then once they receive that, you'll want to go in to take the oath of office and also to sign your papers with them. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And we're extremely excited to have you here. And you are our first student commissioner from Marquette High School. So congratulations. Okay, we're going to move on to our project teams now. And with Solar United Neighbors, through the help of, I think, many people on this commission, including Faye Moore, who had the kickoff open house at her home, we are now up to 13 people in Michigan City have shown an interest in solar panel installation at their homes. And we have one business in the Uptown Arts District who's looking into it. The Satellite Review and Solar Energy Systems installer has 31 visits completed And remember, this is for all of Northwest Indiana. So we're talking LaPorte, Porter, and Lake counties combined. There is another site visit scheduled for 1. And the proposal has been submitted to 7 people, meaning the assessment's all completed. They've been sent to them the recommendations of how many panels, where the panels should be, and what kind of kilowattage is going to be produced off of those installations. And we only lost 5, they call them opportunity loss. There were only 5 people that probably did not qualify because of trees around their home, or maybe their house was facing in the wrong direction to maximize on a panel installation. So we're doing really great. And I just really want to thank each and every one of you who's had a conversation with any of your family, friends, or neighbors, because we're certainly having a much more vigorous response from our community this time around. So really, pat yourself on the back. Good job. People still have the opportunity until the end of February to join the free cooperative. And remember, when people join this for free, they'll get the assessment, estimate, plan, and then they can make a decision if they want to go ahead and do it or not. And if they don't, then they'll have all this information for them to keep for future consideration and use if they decide to go ahead with this. The Solar Energy Systems company out of Napanee was the one that was chosen by the people who were members of the cooperative at the time that they sent out the request for bids. And I've heard also since then that a number of people have used them in the area, and they've been very happy and satisfied with the service that they've received from them. Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments regarding Solar United Neighbors and our partnership with them? Nobody. Okay, keep up the good work. We still have half of January and all of February to go. I know that some people have contacted me individually, and I've just forwarded to them, some of the emails that I've gotten from Solar United Neighbors. So it's been really easy. Or you can just give them Dan Robinson's number, email address, phone number, or they can go directly to the websites. The one is called solarunitedneighbors.org/Indiana, and that will get them directly to Northwest Indiana Opportunities. Okay, moving forward, Indiana University Resilience Cohort for SolSmart designation and electric vehicle charging station plan. The first part of that actually is SolSmart designation. Laura, did you want to say anything about that? No? Okay, she's shaking her head. I really thought we had enough points for silver designation, and it appears we're shy just a little bit. So it could be 5 points, 10 points, 15 points, or 20 points, and I'm not exactly sure how many points there are. But I heard from some of you, and we're split 50-50 as far as if we want to still continue go for the silver designation, or if we want to settle for bronze. And this commission appears to be equally divided at this moment in time. So I wanted to have a conversation about this. I know we were all hoping for silver because that would, number one, beat out our neighbors Gary, because they have only bronze. And being the competitive person that I am, that would be a nice way to end our certification with SolSmart. And we lost our 20-point advantage when Sue Downs really looked at if they, as a department, would be able to do that 3-day turnaround for us. And in all honesty, she didn't think that they'd be able to keep that promise. So I'm glad that she revisited that and came to an honest opinion of them being able to do that or not. So I think, 5, 10, 15, 20 points, I think we can find those because there's about 5 or 6 pages of opportunities to collect points. So let us have a brief conversation now, to see if we should still pursue the silver or if we should settle for the bronze at this moment in time. What are your thoughts?
What were some of the things that we could do?
I think we've done them already, and they just haven't been documented. Okay, so for example, with Nikki Troutman and Soul Power and Workforce One, we did that training class, and eight people locally completed that. So they're on their way with solar panel installation certification. They're work ready right now, but documenting that is the challenge. There was no newspaper article that was published about that.
Yeah, there was. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Faye.
Go ahead. Nikki did publish in Michigan City paper. There was an article on it, and then we also had an article on the NAACP page.
Faye, can you get that information to me? It's not just an advertisement about it. It's that 8 people went through the program and completed it.
Oh, that I probably can get that. So
Okay.
get the documentation of who went through the program.
Yeah, and the exact certification that they got. So right now, with you completing that, we've picked up 5 points.
Okay.
Okay, so there's some things hanging out there. I would call them low-hanging fruit, except, if I'm the only one gathering all the documentation, then it becomes a very overwhelming task for one person. Okay, so what are your thoughts, everybody? Daisy, I know you chimed in and said, go for the silver. So what was your thought about that?
I think we've done a lot, and I think we can go for silver. But is there anything that I can do to help get some extra points or look for documentation?
I will go over that list of opportunities again. And in fact, all of you do have that, because I know that I sent to all of you when we started this whole project, the handbook from Soul Smart. Okay, so if you still have that or can download that and take it's 5 or 6 pages of grid, okay? And it will list exactly what sort of activity would qualify for that. And then it gives you a number of points in the middle. And there's like a checkoff list on the right-hand side. And I'm sure I still have that in my computer, so I could send that out to all of you, by the end of this weekend, which means all of you could have a look. And it could be that our committee of Laura, Tristan, and I, that we just have overlooked something that we're not aware of. I know we got all of the points for Michigan City government solar panel installation. We got those. Sue Downs was really great about getting us the checkoff list that has to be posted on the website for solar panel inspection. They also gave us a list of when they're available to be contacted and engaged, for the inspections and everything like that. So everything's been taken care of by the Michigan City Planning and Inspection Department. And I'm just trying to remember everything that we turned in already. It was a lot of documentation. I know that. And Tristan, because you went to City Hall with me, and we went through file folders that were a couple of them that were this thick to get all the information we needed on the installations on the Michigan City government buildings. So I'll get that out to everybody. And then if you'll have a look, and if you see something you think we might qualify for, and if you would take responsibility then for finding how we can get documentation on that, it would be great. Like I said, if it's published in a newspaper or it's a matter of public record, then we don't need to do anything further. If it hasn't been made known to the public, then we need to get a letter of certification from the organization that did it, and somebody that holds a position of responsibility within that organization, and that will take care of it. But I think we're so close. My feeling would be to pursue it maybe for a month or two more and go for it, because if we get silver, then we won't have to do this again, because I know we're not going to qualify for gold now, especially since our planning and inspection department will not be able to do those inspections within 3 days. That is an absolute requirement for gold certification. So, looking at it from this standpoint, I'm almost thinking it's worth our while to complete it to silver. And then we as a commission, at least we're done with it. Does that make sense? Yeah, I see a lot of heads shaking. Okay. Would anybody like to say something that thought we should settle for the bronze? I like to hear balanced perspectives. If, somebody would like to say something in support of bronze.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I wrote my comment on the chat.
Oh, you wrote your comment on the chat?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to read that for us, Laura? So it becomes a part of the public record?
I think we should try one more month to go for silver. If not within a month, we should settle for bronze temporarily.
Okay. So Laura's a month, I say a month or two, just knowing how sometimes it can take a while, to get documentation in. But I would say we'll give it through, we're in the middle of July now, so that would be like the middle of March. Or we could give it until our sustainability meeting in March. How does that sound? Okay, we'll give it till March sustainability meeting. Okay, we don't need to take a vote on this because we already voted that we were going to go for this designation. So this is not a voting matter. It's just a matter of a negotiation with us and, a timeline that we're working on. Okay?
Okay, I had a question. I did have my hand up.
Sure thing.
Does this include like Potawatomi Park and Trail Creek, or does it have to just be Michigan City?
This is Michigan City specific.
Okay.
And it's a designation that the city government is getting, actually.
Okay.
Okay, great. Good question, though, Faye. Very good question. Okay, and the electric vehicles charging station plan, I know I sent an email out to all of you. This was so funny. This was the Friday before I left on vacation on Saturday. Ed Shin, who's the superintendent of Michigan City Parks and Recreation Department, we had an interview with the gentleman from the Department of Energy and the program that they had there. And Ed and I thought that it was like an interview after submitting our proposal. And we were very surprised at the end of the meeting. I finally asked, I said, "Are we in?" And they said, "Of course you are." So then Ed and I thought, oh, well, maybe it wasn't an interview, it was a planning meeting. So anyhow, Michigan City could be the only city in the state of Indiana that was chosen to participate in this particular program. Or we could be one of two. I don't know because they haven't made the formal announcement yet. But this is a big deal. And I hope you realize what a big deal this is, that we're receiving free professional consulting, planning, engineering assistance. And Ed was very excited about the possibility of installing solar panels at the Washington Park, Beach, and Zoo. And he's hoping that maybe we can get some energy to share with the zoo off these panels and bring down their cost of operations. And included in this will be, I'm hoping, many electric vehicle chargers, so that we're actually planning for the future of our community and visitors to our area. And then Dahlia Zigas, whom many of you know as our at-large city councilwoman, she said to be sure to include charging stations for electronic devices. So we're going to try to roll all three of those into that. Anybody who's interested in participating in this program with us, please let me know. I think it's an exciting opportunity. Very rarely would I think a city of our size would be included in such a large federal program like this. So take a look at it and let me know. And, we'll try to work with your schedules when we're having these consulting meetings with the representatives from the Department of Energy. Okay, Daisy, I know you said you were interested in learning more and possibly taking a look at it. So I have added your name to the list. At this time, is there anybody else who would be interested? And I'll have to say, Ed is so excited about this. I really see him taking the lead for this project because this is going to be a huge deal for our park down there as far as amenities being provided and as far as a much more pleasant customer experience, especially in the summer when your steering wheel can get really hot and you could be parking under a solar array and keeping it cooler. Okay, anybody else interested at this time or would like to learn more? Okay, if not at this time, then please, feel free to email me after the meeting. Okay, any comments or thoughts on that or questions on that? Because I know this is the first time that we've formally talked about it. Okay, great. Okay, Carbon Neutral Indiana, we've sort of taken a hiatus from that. I know that a lot of the people involved in this just didn't have the bandwidth to be able to push it forward this fall and winter. So I'm hoping we can pick this up again in the spring with renewed interest and new energy. And I do still want to acknowledge all of our commissioners who are carbon neutral. That's Andy, Jans Davis, Laura Henderson, Daisy Lee, and myself. And we did form a partnership with Larry Zimmer and the Michigan City Planning Commission. So he's still there. He's still available. He's still willing to work with us also. Any comments or questions about Carbon Neutral Indiana? Okay. Okay, this next one, this just came up. This came up the very end of December, actually. And we initially did a carbon emissions inventory in summer of 2019. And if you haven't had a look at that document, you may want to go on to our page on the Michigan City government website. And we did that. That wasn't done by us. Actually, it was an extern from Indiana University that did that and figured out exactly what the areas were that we needed to work on as far as reducing our carbon footprint. And this past summer, we had 9 municipalities and 3 counties that actually had theirs done in Northwest Indiana. And this was done as a cooperative effort with Kathy Sipple and a group that she formed. So this coming year, they're planning on working on their goals and measures based off of their inventory. This is something that we would have done the next summer of 2020, but we didn't get the mayor's support. And also we moved into COVID that summer. So I think we're blessed that actually we hadn't signed up to do it, because it was very difficult for those cities that took that task on. So we can do it as a group. We'd be working with LaPorte City. LaPorte County has signed up, so there'll be our 3 entities right here. And then we'd have partners in Porter and Lake County who will be doing it also. And I'm happy to report that Hammond recently joined up. They didn't do the inventory, but they're working on that and plan on working with us too. So the opportunity's been presented to us. It's going to be a lot less expensive if we were to do it with Indiana University on our own. It could be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. If we do it with the cooperative, it will be somewhere probably between $300 and $500. So you can see the discount in working as a group together. The other thing that I think would be positive about this is that we could get on the same track with all 3 counties and possibly be working together on reducing our carbon footprint for the whole region. So that could be an extremely powerful effort if everybody joins in together. So those are sort of the positives and that I can think of. And so we have a conversation to have and also a decision to make this evening, because I know they're going to start moving forward with this probably in the next month or 2. Thoughts? Comments? Questions? If you have any questions. Andy?
Sounds like a really good opportunity for the whole region. I think we should go for it as much as we can. I know raising the funds, though, since we don't technically have much in the way of a budget. So, but if everybody joined, it wouldn't be too hard, I don't think, to raise $500 per group.
Yeah. And I think, too, the first time we did this, NIPSCO actually gave us a grant to be able to do it. So I think that it could be possible for us to go back to them again and saying, hey, you know, thank you for funding part 1 of this. Now, you know, we're ready to do part 2 and we would like to do that. Would you be willing to help us out? So I don't think we should let the funding part of it be something that scares us from taking it on. Other people?
I agree with Andy.
Thank you, Daisy. Okay. Is there anybody who thinks that this is not the best of ideas? To actually, you know, come up with goals and measures and actions that are directly related to our carbon emissions inventory. And I know we've tried very much to match up what we're doing project team wise with specific measures that did show up in the inventory. You know, like Michigan City had a huge amount of garbage that was going to the landfill in Michigan. You know, so Daisy and her project team have worked on, you know, the recycling containers in the city parks. So, and then with like Carbon Neutral Indiana, that of course relates directly to households and businesses having an opportunity to zero out their carbon emissions. So everything we've been doing, we've been very careful about making sure that the project matches one of the higher end emissions problems that we were having in Michigan City government and Michigan City community. The one thing I know we haven't taken on at all is our public transportation system. And emissions from vehicles was, I think, the number one problem that needed to be tackled. So. Okay, Andy, Daisy, in favor? Anybody else? Comments? I really need to hear from each of you if this is something that you're interested in, if you think it's something we should be doing. Tim, do you have thoughts?
No, I do not have any real thoughts, but I'm good with it.
Okay. Laura? Okay, may not be able to work. Faye?
Laura had a thumb up and she said to everyone, she's good with it. I'm good with it.
Okay. Okay. Student commissioners? This is your future.
I'm good with it.
Andy's good with
I think
it.
it's a good idea.
Thank you, Mary. Tristan
Yeah,
has
it's
a thumb up.
a good opportunity to set some goals.
Yeah, okay. Bailey said it's a good opportunity to set some goals. Okay, great. Okay. So would somebody make a motion that we pursue the Northwest Indiana, do we have a name down here? With Laura, did I mention Kathy Sipple at all on here? Yeah, it's the Northwest Region Resilience. Okay, so if I could have a motion that we would pursue this planning opportunity with the Northwest Region Resilience under the guidance of Kathy Sipple, that would be great. And I think we could say under the coordination of Kathy Sipple because she stepped forward as willing to do this. And NERC would be involved also. That's the other good thing about this, the Northern Indiana Regional Planning Commission, NERC. So the motion would include Northwest Indiana Resilience, NERC. Would somebody be willing to do that? Andy?
I motion to collaborate with Northwest Indiana Regional Resilience and Northwest Indiana Planning Commission on our greenhouse gas emission reduction.
Okay.
I second that motion. Faye Moore.
Okay, Faye. Okay, all in favor, would you raise your right hand in the corner of your screen so we can see it? Okay, that passed unanimously, and I do believe Laura probably voted for it also since she had, okay, great, I can see you now. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so, wow. Thank you, everybody, that we got through that. It seems like a lot happened, even though I wasn't here, so that's great. That means things are happening in spite of me or with me or whatever. So, okay, we are now to my favorite part of the Sustainability Commission meetings, caught you being green. Andy.
Hello. I've finally got a Nora L. Schultz article posted on Facebook. I think most of you read it. It was shared quite a bit. The family members shared it a lot. It was the most shared article that I've written for Caught You Being Green. So that was nice. A lot of love from her family. She was just an adored lady. So it wasn't hard. it was well received. So if anybody has an idea on someone to do next, I probably wouldn't really start on it and get going until right after we finish with the Earth Month extravaganza, which is a nice little lead in to that one. And mini features too. I did some mini features for holiday packaging and things on the Facebook, like, how to wrap and what to recycle and whatnot. But yes, to the Earth Month extravaganza, I've contacted city, county, state, and national parks. They'll all be involved somehow. Most of them will table. Dunes Learning Center, a group with live interactive animals. These are all contacted. And as long as COVID protocols don't close everybody down, it seems like most of these people I'm mentioning will be there with a table. The animals is one of my favorite things. I'll just say that now. Let's see, probably about 15 to 20 groups. That's what we had last time. And I'd like to start really working with the team. I do apologize for not contacting you guys. I'm not ignoring you. For Christmas, we all got COVID at my house. So it was lots of fun for the last 3 weeks. So I haven't really done much of anything. So I'll contact you and see what your ideas are and what groups you want to do and things like that. We do have the library is secured, the Michigan City Public Library, for April 23rd. Time, I was thinking noon to 3, if that works for you guys. If you have a better window that you like, we do have the room, the double room, all day. So we can come in and set up and take down at our leisure. I think they open it somewhere around like 9 or 10, and then they close around like 5 or 6. So plenty of time in between there. Begin advertising too in the next couple of weeks, now that we've got a few people guaranteed. I've put in a few other calls. I won't mention those right now because I haven't listened to my voicemail or checked my emails on those. Again, with the holiday and then all of us getting sick at my house, it was a little rough. And then also, it's not necessarily one of my project teams, but I did have a meeting and with the blessing of Daisy Lee, because it's garbage related. I had a meeting with Ed Shin, also from the Michigan City Parks Department, and we discussed various things, baseball, and also ideas for local park attention, for the locals, focus on like the parks that have gardens, like Walker Street Garden, and really keep our area clean, make it, even in the off season, really focus on the environmental aspects of our beautiful area. And if we have pride in our area, then our visitors, hopefully, keep our area clean. We like it. You should too. A big thing that we discussed, though, is a possible solution for a particular litter that is always everywhere at the beach. Specifics I'll talk about when I've got any kind of approval, but he seemed very excited, and I'm very hopeful that that will move forward. He's obviously, we've mentioned him a number of times in our meetings. He's very involved in the community environment, outdoor activities. So that makes me happy. I don't know if it will have to go through city council and all of these things yet. So I will bring it up again when we have some sort of progress or approval for it. So yeah, there we go. That's it.
Andy, I think I can add that probably the litter has nothing to do with dead fish, so we don't have to worry about that. Correct?
No. No, it's not. It's not about the dead fish. It's actual, landfill garbage. But, like Daisy does with recycling and the containers, not just Daisy, but Tim with her also, just a way to take care of an issue that we have. So hopefully it will work, and we'll see. And even if it doesn't, I'll bring up what my idea was so that we can maybe do it again later, or in different communities it might work.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Andy. I also want to mention you got a lot of comments on the holiday tips that you posted also for not only wrapping, but you had some really great gift ideas that were there also. So thank you very much. Thought it was a really, really great month for social media in December. So thanks. Those of you that haven't liked our Michigan City Sustainability Commission Facebook page, please do that. Also, you can go on there and invite all of your Facebook friends to like it also. And the more likes we have, the broader the reach and the greater our engagement. So please do that. I know Tristan has been great about not only just liking things, but he'll make brief comments about things that have been posted. And every time you do that, that makes it onto the news feed just as if it was something new that had been posted. So don't be afraid to, just get on and make those brief comments also, because that keeps the post alive and gives it a better opportunity to reach more people. Really great job, Andy. Thank you. Okay, as far as action alerts go, we just started our 2022 Indiana legislative session. And I am happy to say, I'm just going to take two steps backwards. The EPA of the United States government has posted a new regulation regarding the cleanup of coal ash by electric power plants. And basically what they've said is that the companies are responsible for their mess and they have to clean it up. So this is good news at the national level. And this certainly does cover what's going on in Indiana. Indiana has more toxic coal ponds than any other state in the whole United States. So this is simply deplorable. And our Indiana legislature has been allowing the closure of said coal plants without having to clean it up. They're allowed to what we call cap and run. So the mess is there. Sometimes it's already reached the water table and people are pumping their drinking water from these underground aquifers, which certainly isn't good for the health of the people of our state. And they've even given permission for some of them to be a cap and run in what we would consider floodplains, which are right next to rivers. So that's the sad state of the environment in Indiana. But the good news is I'm thrilled to announce we have two bills that are being introduced in the legislature this session. One by our very own state representative, Pat Boy, who used to be a Michigan City commissioner, a Michigan City councilwoman. She's co-sponsoring with Representative Maureen Bauer, House Bill 1335. You'll want to write this down, House Bill 1335, because I'm going to be asking you to do something with this. Pat's bill has to do with a complete cleanup for any closures that are happening at power plants, especially those that are currently leaking or contaminating groundwater or are in a floodplain that could threaten the health and safety of Hoosiers. Also, we have another bill, Senate Bill 412. And this is being introduced by Senator Rodney Pohl. Rodney has taken the place of Senator Karen Talion, who retired at the end of the last legislative session. Basically, it's her bill. But the really great thing about this is he's been joined by Senator Susan Glick, and she's a Republican. So this is a bipartisan bill sponsored by a Democrat and a Republican, which means it has a much better chance of getting its hearing and then hopefully also coming up for a vote on the full floor. So what I'm going to ask you to do, first of all, is to sign up to receive emails from Hoosier Environmental Council, because Hoosier Environmental Council is the statewide nonprofit, nonpartisan organization in Indiana that keeps an eye on all of these environmental issues. And every single day, a few of them are at the State House on the ground, keeping an eye on what's happening and also talking to representatives and senators. So you want to sign up for those alerts from them. You'll get a little weekly announcement. And then if something of crucial importance comes up, they'll let you know, we need you to do this today or tomorrow. Okay. Number one, sign up with them. Number two, go to Facebook and like Hoosier Environmental Council's page. That way, in your newsfeed on Facebook, you'll be updated as far as what's happening down in Indianapolis at the State House. What we need to do right now regarding Representative Pat Boyd's bill, and that's House Bill 1335, we need to contact the chairman. We need to contact the chairman, who is Representative Mike Speedy, Speedy. We're asking that you call him at 317-232-9850. That's 317-282-9850, or send him an email at h90@iga.in.gov. That's h90@iga.in.gov, and ask him to please schedule a hearing on this bill. He's the person who's actually the chairman of the House Committee on Environmental Affairs. If this bill does not get a hearing, it dies. It means that it will never reach a vote. Okay, so that's the second thing to do. The third thing to do regarding Senate Bill 412 is to contact Chairman Senator Mark Mesmer, Messmer. You're going to be asking him the same thing, to please schedule a hearing for Senate Bill 412. And he's the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Environmental Affairs. His phone number is 317-232-9640. That's 317-232-9840. And his email is s48@iga.in.gov. That's s48@iga.in.gov. Again, if this bill doesn't get a hearing, it won't get a vote. This is probably the most promising opportunity that we have, since it is bipartisan. Why this is important, even after the announcement made by the Environmental Protection Agency, is when administrations change in Washington, all of these things can go down the tube very quickly, depending on who the president is. And if we pass these laws in Indiana, then this becomes a permanent part of the Indiana statute, which means that Indiana isn't going to be fluxing back and forth depending on what's happening in Washington, D.C. This is a great opportunity. There's a lot of momentum right now, not only in DC, but down at the State House. And we all know what happened last year with Senate Bill 389. They took away a lot of protections for the wetlands in our state. So I am reminding everybody, we won't forget SB 389. And that's going to become a rallying cry for this particular legislative session, that we're not going to forget what they did to our wetlands, and we're not going to allow them to destroy any more of our natural resources in Indiana, nor not provide the protections that really the citizens of our state need for health, well-being, and a high quality of life also. Okay, so any questions about that? Okay, great. I hope everybody will take the time either to make those 2 phone calls or just send off 2 brief emails, letting them know, please hear these bills. Okay. Commissioners' comments. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say And these are not announcements about events. These are actually commission comments. So was there something you wanted to say tonight or comment on tonight that wasn't on the agenda?
Did you see Laura's comment about cell 412?
Oh, SB 412, it's the same thing. It's a coal ash cleanup bill. They're not exactly twin bills, but they accomplish the same thing. That coal burning power plants are going to have to clean up their dumps basically, and that they're not allowed to cap and run, meaning they just leave all that toxicity in place, cover it up, and then just abandon the site. Thank you, Laura, for asking that. Okay, do we have any public comments this evening? Is there anybody from the public who would like to make a comment? Okay, do we have any announcements besides our Earth Day, our Earth Month extravaganza, which is happening on April 23rd? Yes, Tim.
On January 19th, Just Transition has a climate justice event that's virtual.
Yeah, and that's available on Facebook Live. And I think you can also sign up to take part in that event, Tim.
Yeah, I believe so. So
Yeah.
if you're interested, look up Just Transition.
Thank you for bringing that up, Tim. Also, Hoosier Environmental Council has had some Facebook Live and online trainings for this legislative session, and I believe their next one may be coming up on Wednesday also. But you can pick that up on their Facebook page or on their website. They're posted both places. Okay, any other announcements? Okay, and I'm ready to call for adjournment. Would somebody please make the motion to adjourn? I know you don't want to leave us.
I motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Daisy. And who'll second that?
Second.
Tim, thank you. Tim, thank you for seconding that. I appreciate it. We're going to have to get used to this. I have a training to go to next Wednesday. Angie Deitch Nelson is Angie Nelson Deitch is the new president of the city council. And she has called a meeting of all of the commissions. And it looks like we're going to probably, we're going to have to get our houses in order, it sounds like. Not that ours is in bad order, but Laura and I have some work to do as far as figuring out what the end of terms are for our commissioners. I know I've been turning this stuff in on a regular basis, but somehow it's getting lost in translation and nobody's ever been updated on their website. So we have a little bit of a black mark on our reputation because of that, but we'll get it figured out. And then all of you that we have reappointed, and we knew that we reappointed you, and you were there when we voted on your appointments, have all of you gotten into the city clerk's office to be sworn in? Has that happened? Andy's shaking her head yes. Okay, if you're not sure, please touch base with me. Because we need to get this flat before I go into that meeting on Wednesday, because I do not want to be embarrassed and publicly humiliated because we don't know who our commissioners are. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. And hopefully we'll be able to get together again next month. And don't let me forget anything and everything we voted on. We need to re-vote at the next meeting. And I think the only thing we voted on was the minutes, and then also taking part with the Northwest Region Resilience. Okay, so Andy and Laura as our officers, if you could keep track of that, that would be great. Okay, hopefully we'll see you face to face next month. And Mary, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.